Tonight's starting lineups are presented by BetMGM. The Blue Jays featuring Vladimir Guerrero Jr. A .355 career average against the Tigers. That's the highest among active players with a minimum of 150 plate appearances. He'll bat third for the Blue Jays as he faces A.J. Hinch's Detroit Tigers. 6 games under 500, tied for last in the AL Central. What's turned out to be a really fascinating division race here. You know, Detroit, they're back home after dropping 5 of 6 on the road. Swept by the Mets in New York, one of the favorites in the division, ravaged by pitching injuries, and once again, it's going to be a bullpen game. Brandon Hanafy will open up for the Tigers.
And we're probably going to see, a mixture of relievers before we get to Ty Madden. So we know that, especially when it comes to the Tigers. It's Detroit versus everybody. It's a calling card here in Detroit. I love Detroit. I'm all in on Detroit. Got to get the bullpen team back on track, and then it's in the game. Ty Madden will come in the game, and he's going to use his cut fastball to try to rip through the Blue Jays.
One of the favorites in the AL Central, already feeling like these next few weeks could be critical for their playoff hopes. Toronto and Detroit are separated by 231 miles. That's it. More of a rivalry in hockey than in baseball, but both teams facing a critical inflection point in this baseball season. Tigers at their low point of the season since the Tarek Skubal injury. They've lost 8 of 9, trying to turn things around before it becomes too late. For the Blue Jays, the reigning American League pennant winners, can they regain the form that carried them through the second half and all the way to within 1 game of a world championship? We will find out. George Springer to lead things off for the Jays. Here in Detroit, Brandon Hanafy is ready. He'll work from the stretch. And it's a first pitch that's fouled back, a fastball at 95.
Now, Hanafy's done this a couple times where he's opened. I mean, it's a sinker. He's got a slider, changeup, a four-seam he barely uses, but you're trying to get quick and efficient outs.
Second time Hanafy's open for the Tigers this season as Springer flies one foul. And he's in an 0-2 hole. There's the pitch mix.
The league right now is hitting .389 against the sinking fastball.
8 1/3 innings pitched so far this year. As that fastball misses up and away. Allowed his first earned run of the year yesterday, Hanafy. And the loss to the Mets. George Springer, meanwhile, as reliable as they get when it comes to leadoff homers. Takes low and away.
Well, last year was just such a fantastic year for George Springer, comeback player of the year, but this year it's been tough. He keeps getting hurt. I mean, his foul ball's off his feet. He had the wrist.
Get the feeling he's probably not at 100% this year. He's fighting here, and he stays alive. That broken toe, he came back from it and just didn't quite look the same. A World Series MVP, Springer. You see those ranks from last year. He'll turn 37 this year. Let's go back to when he missed 15 games after fouling a ball off his toe back on April 11th.
Well, I mean, missing 15 games is not, it doesn't feel like he can recover that fast, and then he gets banged against the toe again.
On one hop, McGonigal deep and short, and a nice pick by Torkelson to record the out. Let's get you today's weather report presented by Ricola. Did you do karaoke last night or something?
No.
66 degrees at first pitch. I'll bring up the rookie Yohendrick Pinango. First pitch swinging, flies one to center. Veerling battling the sun. Puts it away. Matt Vierling in center with Riley Green in left and Zach McKinstry in right. All the rookies for the Tigers in their infield with Gage Workman, McGonigal, Hao-Yu Lee. Dylan Dingler behind the plate, a Gold Glove winner last year for the Tigers.
Defensively, they have not been playing clean baseball. That's been the problem, part of this time frame for the Tigers. They have earned the record that they currently have.
There's Vladdy Jr. Oh. I get the feeling, Spilling, you don't want to simplify it too much. But when he gets going, and 288, it's not, the end of the world, but the power numbers are down. I get the feeling that when he gets going, this Blue Jays team will follow.
Well, there's a couple things. First off, Guerrero's still putting up good numbers. He's hitting the ball hard. He's taking his walks. He's not punching out. He can hit. But I think they need Alejandro Kirk back. Okay.
Kirk, one of 4 position players on the IL for John Schneider. Started to hit off a tee recently, had thumb surgery. Career season last year. So many clutch moments for Kirk. And an anchor behind the plate for sure. I mean, injuries are a story for both teams. The Blue Jays, it's not exactly like they've escaped.
No, I mean, but that's basically an all-star team right there on the IL. And we'll learn about Jose Barrios. There might be a surgery. They did not mention anything today.
Guerrero is gone. A 1-2-3 first for Brennan Hannafy as the Tigers come to bat.
Can turning your hat inside out turn the game around? Google Cloud AI crunched the numbers and found that 71% of the biggest comebacks came after the rally cap caught on, with rallying teams having, on average, just a 3% chance of winning. But since the cap was donned, the rate of improbable comebacks per season just happened to double. Talk about turning baseball on its head.
Been virtually untouchable, just 1 run allowed in 13 1/3.
Well, the guy I've been looking forward to watching is Kevin McGonigal. I spent some time today with Alan Trammell, and he says the second you saw this guy come in, how he works, you knew he was going to be a stud.
Fought off into shallow center. Dalton Varsho took a step back. The jam shot winds up being a lazy fly ball for the first out. Let's spill the beans on Trey Savage.
I mean, we're looking at one of the more unique pitchers. So he's bringing the noise and the funk, the funky delivery, the wipeout stuff, the split finger, the backward slider, and then he's a full go. There's no restrictions now on Trey Savage. We know he hasn't gotten over 90 pitches, but John Schneider told us today, he was like, hey, he's good.
Yeah, season high so far in those 3 starts is 87. After going 4 innings against the Angels over the weekend, a blowout win for the Blue Jays. Dylan Dingler here leads all catchers in runs batted in. By the way, for that, you have a game that's 14-1, and you throw 4 scoreless, and you don't get a decision. What? He was lifted after 4 innings, obviously, not fully stretched out. Toronto would get the score in the game, but
got to get to 5.
Sometimes you got to give scorers discretion. Come on.
Ball.
He's fallen behind the first 2 hitters.
That's what we're talking about. 74 pitches, first start for him against Boston. Then he had 82 against Minnesota, and there's the 87 against the Angels.
Seemed to yank that one.
It was such a pleasure to watch this kid compete last year in the postseason. I mean, it was to be not even far removed from college and to do what he did.
It's a 5-pitch walk to Dingler. Looks a little out of sorts, at least to start the night. StatCast, powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, for Savage, it's just a 3-pitch mix. It's not, it's not overwhelming you with 3 pitches, but these 3 pitches are super unique. We talked about the high release. 4-seam fastball gets on you, it stays on a high plane. The split finger works great front to back, and then the slider that goes in the opposite direction of a normal slider.
It is remarkable. just how quickly he was able to jump right in the middle of a playoff chase. 39 strikeouts in the postseason last year. High chop from Colt Keith, and it gets by Clement and skips into right.
Well, Trey Savage lost his shoe, and just watching this play unfold, it was, you know, we're not used to seeing Ernie Clement make any mistakes. He's an excellent defender, but it just eats him up. Comes in, tries to backhand, and in between hop, and with the top spin, no chance. Now we get to watch Trey Savage tie his shoe. Let's see if he does it normal or weird.
Must not have been tied that tight to begin with. You know, you're in the first couple batters of a game, and it just flies off like that.
Who throws the shoe, honestly?
So they scored a single. Dingler gets to third. And here's Riley Green, already a chance for the Tigers to do some damage.
That's a costly mistake for Toronto. This is a defense that is, you know, prides itself on run prevention.
They have 27 errors already this year. That's the 5th most in baseball as Green swings at the first pitch out in front of the splitter. Clement usually sure-handed, but it's a tough sun field right now. It's just coming through one of the gaps in the concourses, the lower level here at Comerica. Nice block from Brandon Valenzuela, the rookie behind the plate.
Well, as much as we've talked about the loss of Alejandro Kirk, it's more the bat that they're missing from that defensive position for catcher, because between Tyler Heineman and Valenzuela, they've been really good defensively.
Fly ball left side, drifting towards the line. Pinango, long run, and he runs out of room. Like the Tigers, there are 3 rookies in the field for the Blue Jays tonight, with Pinango in left, Okamoto at third, and Valenzuela behind the plate. Between these two teams and the 20 starters, 7 rookies are playing tonight.
Andres Jimenez at shortstop, excellent defender.
1-2.
Riley Green, who's 2nd in the American League in batting average, entering. And Green strikes out. As Savage went back to the splitter.
This is the beauty of Trey Savage. You get a mistake, 1st and 3rd, 1 out, and you have one of the best hitters in baseball right now in Riley Green, and he can still find a punch out. Riley's probably telling Spencer Torkelson, he's like, yeah, that splitter is kind of fading away from the left. He'll move into you.
Veerling now. Savage falling behind another hitter, but Veerling swinging over top of the slider.
Yeah, Savage is one of these type of pitchers where even if he's not getting ahead first pitch strike, his 3 pitches are really hard to square up.
Speaking of squaring up, it's hard to square the Tigers and where their record is at and their run production, which is 22nd. What we just saw, they're great with 2 outs. They're great in those situations, clutch hits. Now, struggling lately with runners in scoring position.
1-2.
They're very much missing some key pieces. Veerling is gone on a fastball up in the zone from Savage, and despite the traffic, Savage works out of it.
now Tigers fans know the news that no one wanted to hear this season, and as that is Tarik Skubal to the injured list. In this video here, you'll see him pitching against the Braves, and he feels some discomfort in his elbow. He is actually moving that loose body around in his elbow because it was causing so much pain. He underwent surgery to remove loose bodies on May 11th. I spoke with Hinch before the game, and he said, listen, we are optimistic because the procedure was done and it was only one loose body. He's been playing catch all week, guys.
And an extra base hit here for Okamoto to lead off the second, but for the Tigers, pitching injuries have been a story from the get-go this year. Losing Tarik Skubal is a different level of injury. And as they continue their bullpen game, Brant Herter will come in. The lefty will face Dalton Varsho when we come back to Detroit. As expected, go to their bullpen. It's essentially a double opener situation as Brant Herter comes in, making his 18th appearance of the season, and he'll go lefty on lefty.
Now, for traditional baseball fans, you might not like the opener, but I love it because it gives an opportunity to match up the way you want to, and with the lineup like Toronto. Yep. Your bullpen reliever, who's going to be Ty Madden, see if they checked. Varsho says he pulled it back.
Now, what does he want to do here? Do you want to challenge a strike, too? I mean, he offered, and that's the call from Shane Leibensparger behind home plate. What do you say, Spilling?
I think he pulled it back.
Can't challenge that. Workman on the grass at third as Varsho does not show bunt this time. Instead takes a breaking ball in the corner. Of course, he was the hero on Wednesday night. Walk-off grand slam in the 10th inning against the Tampa Bay Rays. That was a moment the Blue Jays have sorely needed.
1-2. Ray's team is just, it's a tough matchup for Toronto, and the guys were talking about it today. They were saying, look, the Rays, they outpitched us, they played better defense.
Off the hands from Varsho.
It's not like they were hitting a ton of homers. The Rays, they just put the ball in play. Chandler Simpson was a problem.
And here's the thing for A.J. Hinch to deal with is this Blue Jays team, if they find an offensive spark, they've got plenty of guys who can do damage. That's strike three. Varsho knew it.
You can tell Varsho uncomfortable in this entire at bat against Herter. A lot of off-speed pitches and just buckled him. But this is where A.J. Hinch can use his lefty. You got the two lefties in Varsho and Sanchez, and you get these favorable matchups.
Now, I know the timeline, thanks to super agent Scott Boras, around Tarik Skubal is, I guess, accelerated compared to what we thought it was going to be. The Tigers also do have a couple of guys coming back. Casey Mize is on his way back. We even saw a glimpse of Justin Verlander today pitching a simulated game. They have 5 starters on the injured list. Jesus Sanchez here.
Huh?
It's quite stark, their record when Skubal pitches versus everybody else. On the ground from Sanchez to second. Okamoto gets the third. Trisha.
Yeah, Alex, you mentioned Justin Verlander. We spoke with AJ Hinch about this. He told us Verlander threw 50 pitches today during his live BP. You're seeing it here, to 4 hitters, and he had no residual soreness, and in about 5 to 6 days, he's going to do it again. They said the pitch quality was good, the velo is up. He's eligible to return, guys, May 31st, and likely will make his return sometime between May 31st and June 4th. So that's a pretty good news for the Tigers, guys.
Yeah, no doubt. They moved him to the 60-day IL to give a firmer timetable for when he could return. Ernie Clement at the plate.
Ball. I think with this offseason for the Tigers, I mean, you had the arbitration hearing with Skubal. There's, concern that, hey, they're gonna trade him. No, they're not. So you have arbitration hearing, and then a couple days before that, you have Fromber signing his deal. It might have hit him.
Yep, it did.
Now it didn't hit him. He's calling him a check swing. That's the second time he's called a check swing. And like John Schneider is going to come out.
Okay.
This is the one part with the check swing that I never understood, is when a player is trying to get out of the way of a pitch that's about to hit him, and your reaction to move out of the way happens to force the barrel through because what other direction are you supposed to go? I don't think that should be a check swing. I don't think there's intent to swing the bat, and then there's intent to get out of the way.
Even if he's starting to offer.
The problem is every hitter is trying to offer on every single pitch. So if you're saying, you got to show intent to swing, well, the intent for every hitter, and Ernie Clement's notorious for swinging a lot of pitches.
It'll be a 5-pitch walk anyway. Dale Scott, former Major League umpire, is with us. What's your take on this, Dale?
Well, I understand what Ryan's talking about, but if the thing about check swing, guys, is that in the rule book, it's really up to the umpire's judgment. There's nothing that really has anything concrete that says this is a swing and this isn't. It's very open, and it's just all judgment call. And I understand what Ryan's saying, but there are times when the guy is attempted, and then he realizes the pitch is bad, and he gets hit, and that's a swing. And I thought this one today, I agreed with him.
Okay. Appreciate the insight.
Thanks, Dale.
So a 2-out walk to Clement. Andres Jimenez bats here. And Clement lines one fair up the first base line. That'll score Okamoto. Clement being waved around now, and he's going to come all the way home. He will score. It's a 2-run, 2-out double for Ernie Clement, and the Blue Jays lead 2-0.
Well, for Andres Jimenez, this is a great piece of hitting. I mean, you got the lefty. He handles inside really well. Andres is excellent on any pitches middle into him, so it gets right past Torkelson. And to score from first, you saw this ball rattling around right in the corner. You have to keep your head on a swivel. And so for Clement to score from first, great job. And for Toronto just getting out to a 2-0 lead, they needed that.
Andres Jimenez, apologies for the misstep on my part there. Driving in 2. Not exactly known for being a linchpin of the offense, but can chip in.
Huh?
Borderline pitch there to Brandon Valenzuela.
Yeah, Menace has not had a lot of hits against lefties this year. He came in with a 158 batting average against lefties.
Rookie Brandon Valenzuela here. Gotten the majority of reps at catcher with Alejandro Kirk out due to injury. Now, he did have a good pathway to being an everyday player in the springtime because, remember, Kirk was playing for Mexico at the World Baseball Classic, so his ramp up in spring actually prepared him fairly well for this stretch. But obviously there's a drop off in production from what Kirk can bring you. So with Jimenez at second, 2-out double for him. This is fouled off home plate.
Like we talked about it with both these teams, they're just trying to tread water. That's it. They're just trying to stay afloat. And as bad as it's been for the Tigers and the Blue Jays, nobody's running away with the American League in any of the wild card spots.
Ball.
Gonna have a challenge here from Dylan Dingler.
The catcher's challenge to call ball.
Dylan was very polite. Did you hear him?
Yeah.
He says, challenge, please.
The call is confirmed. Detroit has 1 challenge remaining.
That's within that margin of error of the system. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. Thought he was going to get a strikeout there. Instead, the count runs full. So you can understand he wanted to end the inning. Payoff pitch to Valenzuela here. Upstairs, ball 4. That'll bring out A.J. Hinch, probably going to tie Madden a little sooner than he would have hoped. It's already 2-0 Toronto. Verilux lenses. Alex Faust, Ryan Spilborghs, Trisha Whitaker here with you. Comerica Park in Detroit, third pitcher for the Tigers. This was as expected, and Ty Madden will once again handle bulk relief for the Tigers.
I like this note. He's the first Tigers pitcher to total at least 11 innings in his first 2 relief outings of a season in 40 years when Eric King did it back in 1986.
Ultimately, he's going to be in the bullpen, but has the arsenal, Spilly, of a starter. And he faces the top of the lineup here with Springer.
His first outing of relief against the Red Sox was fantastic. He went 5 innings, struck out 7. His last outing against Kansas City, it was a rough road trip for Detroit. He went 6 innings with 5 punch-outs.
Springer flies one to right. McKinstry is on it, and he puts it away. And the inning is over. Blue Jays get 2 on the double from Jimenez, and it's 2-0. V is presented by Essilor. Learn more about Verilux XR series and find your local Essilor expert at Essilor.com. A little bit of a chill in the air on this Friday night. Don't worry, immediate summer will happen before long.
I cannot wait.
Trey Savage had to wait a bit to get to the bottom of the second. He'll face Gage Workman, the rookie, called from AAA on May 10th. Savage with a sub-2 ERA in his first 6 career regular season major league starts. He pitched a total of 14 innings at the major league level in the regular season last year, and then another 27 2/3 in an incredible postseason. And that caught Valenzuela there. Take a look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
Well, this is tunneling at its finest. When you have a 4-seam fastball that comes out of the same spot as the split finger, it is impossible to see the difference. And that's why you see a lot of swing and misses or foul balls. And right now we're watching Valenzuela right now getting looked at by the athletic trainer for the Blue Jays. He got squared up. This is not going to feel good.
He's going to stay in there, shake it off as best he can.
Usually when you see a catcher laugh at the end, you know that it's all right. And usually there's a joke in there from a manager to the catcher.
Sure. First big league season after 8 years in the minors. Strap back in and get back after it. You see the gear on the catchers and the mask on the umpires and all the forest green. Strikeout here, and Workman will be thrown out. Military Appreciation Weekend around baseball, so that's why the different color scheme is there.
Another punch out for you, Savage. I mean, you just see it, you're wondering, like, well, why are big league hitters missing pitches by that much? Kind of showed you with the tunneling of the fastball. It's enough giddy up on the fastball.
In the air from Zach McKinstry, the shallow left. Bignongo is there. 2 gone. I just can't get over, Spilly, how quick the rise was for your Savage. Because I remember we were doing a couple of Blue Jays games last summer. We were hearing about your Savage being promoted, I don't know, a month and a half before it happened in September. And this was a guy who was in Dunedin to begin the year. Promoted to High A Vancouver in May, dominated the Northwest League. Then Double A New Hampshire in June. Played in the Futures game. Triple A Buffalo in August.
Yep.
All the way into pitching Game 1 of the World Series.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, you know, they weren't quite sure what they were going to get, even when they were heading up into towards the end of the year for Toronto. Because some of the outings he had was, you know, in AAA ballparks. So they're like, we'll see what happens when he gets to the big leagues. And when he got to the big leagues, it was like, oh, he's just fine. And I think the whoa moment for the baseball world was his start against the Yankees.
That was as dominant a matchup you'll see from any pitcher.
And the funny thing is if you remember, there was Trent Grisham was coming out of the box and he just stood waiting for him.
Right.
Huh?
Spencer Torkelson takes a strike. Count runs full. Slow start for Torkelson after he had that hot stretch in April, homering in 5 straight games. And Torkelson is fanned. 4 strikeouts in the early going for Trey Savage. His 4th start of the year. And it's rinse and repeat. Gilles Villeneuve, May 24th, 4 p.m. Apple TV, the new U.S. home of Formula One. Two 2-0 Blue Jays here in the 3rd.
Huh?
2, 3, and 4 due up for Toronto. Ty Madden, the pitcher for Detroit.
Well,
3rd one they've used in a bullpen game. You see the shift on for the lefty hitting Pinango, who has forced Toronto to keep him in the lineup.
Yeah.
Fouls this straight back.
Well, when you're hitting the way Pinango came out, it's hard to keep him out of the lineup, and you have him hitting second. For Ty Madden, kid out of Cypress, Texas, played for the Longhorns, was a 32nd overall draft pick by the Tigers back in 2021.
We know that they're going to have a bit of a log jam with Addison Barger when he comes back. He came back for one game.
Ooh.
Oh, line right back up the middle, and it's stunned Madden. He has no play, but the broader concern is where that ball got him. 107 off the bat from Pinango.
You can tell Madden is hurting. It looks like it caught him on the arm. Oh, no. Yeah, right on it. You can see it right on the right forearm. I don't even think he's going to throw a pitch.
AJ Hinch just looked back towards the dugout, and they're going to take him out of the game. A comebacker line drive that has now upended the plans for the Tigers, and what was already going to be a challenging return to Comerica Park in a bullpen game. Still only in the third. Tigers going to their bullpen, locating Birch Smith. Jogs in and will get all the time he needs now after Ty Madden was knocked out of this game with a comebacker line drive off his arm, off his pitching arm. And now what for the Tigers? That's the big question. So we always have our manager interview during the commercial break. We tape this right before this half inning. We'll give you what the plan was from AJ Hinch for what this was supposed to be, our manager interview presented by Sage.
All right, AJ, you had to go to the pen early in this one, but you had Ty come in and get you out of a jam. How do you navigate it from this point forward?
Well, we like Ty in this bulk role. He's gonna be out there for a little while, and then obviously we'll read the game. We get back in it, we start swinging at better pitches and put some pressure on their side, and we'll get to the end.
So that was the plan, and then baseball happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And for the Tigers, I mean, he just lost your bulk reliever. And for Birch Smith now coming in, you know, here's a veteran arm, but the depth is going to be challenged today. And at the start of a series, if you're the Blue Jays, this is best case scenario. You knock out their bulk, you dig into their bullpen, because you're playing the long game. That's what a 3-game series is. You're trying to get as many guys in the first day as you possibly can, so you get matchups later on. And here's what happened. Pinango hits a liner 107 miles an hour right off the top of his forearm. They came and checked him out. He didn't even throw a pitch. Like, he was hurting. And you hate to see it, because Madden's been important for them. So Birch Smith, the last outing he had was on Tuesday, and he was able to throw 28 pitches, but you've already used Hanafi, you've already used Herter. You have a couple guys like Ricky Vanasco, who yesterday threw 32 pitches, so like, you're short. I'm just looking at their guys, like, they're gonna need a miracle from Birch Smith to pick up 3 innings.
His season high is 33 pitches. Let's take a look entering the game here for the Tigers, what their bullpen situation looked like. And again, they played yesterday. The Blue Jays did not.
So he did get an arm today with Connor Siebold, so he's in play, and he was stretched out to go multiple innings.
That would probably be the play, if I had to guess. So again, because of the injury, Smith gets as much time as he needs to warm up. Reminder for the Tigers, it's not just the Skubal injury. We talked about Justin Verlander. Casey Mize has been out with a strained groin. Troy Melton, who's eligible to return in a couple weeks. He had an elbow strain in spring training, and it has led to a strain for this Tigers bullpen. 87 innings since April 24th, easily the most in baseball. And these are the pitchers on the injured list for the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers fans don't want us to show this. They're like, no, stop. We get it.
And again, Connor Siebold just returned for them, so that's one bit of good news that they had, that he is on the roster and available here today. All right, so Smith appears to be ready to go. And okay, welcome to the game. You've got a runner on first, and here's Vladdy Jr. coming to the plate. Guerrero, who has not homered since April 20th. About 8 minutes since the last pitch was thrown. And Guerrero will dig in with a runner on first and nobody out.
Ball.
Andres Jimenez responsible for the 2 driven in for the Blue Jays, and it was Jimenez who hit as many homers on Monday in one game as Guerrero has all season. 2.
Ball.
In fact, Guerrero hasn't had an extra base hit in 61 plate appearances.
Yeah.
Now he is getting his walks, but still.
And he's still hitting the ball hard. He's just not getting it up in the air.
For the last month, he's been coming to the ballpark early, hitting in the cage ahead of BP, staying late. Breaks his bat here on a flare in the infield, and it'll be caught by Lee. One gone. Take a look at our scouting report presented by Car Shield as Kazuma Okamoto comes to the plate. Doubled and scored his first time.
He's a perfect fit for this lineup. This is still a Blue Jays lineup that doesn't strike out. You know, there's a little bit of chase in there. He's been good defensively. Still learning, playing on all the different fields around the league. Every pitcher he's facing is probably the first time.
Oh, that's an out. They pick off Piñango. A huge break for the Tigers as they catch him leaning.
Yeah, they did. They caught him leaning in a nice tag from Torkelson. Notice he's not going for the wrist. He's going for the backside. So normally you used to see first baseman standing on the bag, and a lot more first basemen are off the bag to create an angle so they can tag him faster. That was huge. I mean, going back to Vlad Guerrero swung 3-0.
Trying to do something.
Trying to do something.
And you lived it, Spilly. Sometimes you try to do too much too soon, right?
Well, I don't mind any hitter swinging 3-0. I actually, if you get to a 3-0 count, you should fire. It's a great opportunity to get a pitch and do some damage. But he kind of, Blue Jays let him off the hook.
Huh? 3-2.
3-0 to 3-2. Birch Smith escapes unscathed, as do the Tigers. What a moment in the game. And then Sung Hyun Min and LAFC battle Nashville. All the coverage exclusively this weekend on Apple TV. Comerica Park in Detroit. Sun setting, and now the entire field pretty much covered in shade. As we reach the bottom of the third. How about the twists and turns in the plot here tonight?
Yeah, this one's been riding down a bumpy road so far.
Yu Lee, the 9-hole hitter, chops one to short. Jimenez charges, pumps, throws, and gets the out. A couple moments ago during the break, Tricia caught up with John Schneider. Our manager interview is presented by Sage.
All right, Monday, Jimenez had his first career multi-home run game. Today, a 2-run double on 2 outs. What impressed you about that?
I mean, left on left, AJ playing matchups early, and, he's had great at-bats all year. And I think he's really made a lot of progress against lefties, getting a little bit more confidence, and then just snuck that one in. So nice to get a lead early when they got a bullpen game going.
Savage seems to be cruising so far. You talked about how he's a little funky. He's different than any righty you'll face. Tell me why. Tell me how.
Yeah, it's such a high release point when he's spotting his fastball, which he hasn't really gotten ahead with really quite yet. It makes the secondary stuff that much better. So it's funky, and it's going to take a couple times, through the order, hopefully for them to adjust, and hopefully we can keep adding on runs.
John, we appreciate the time.
Thanks, Tricia.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Tricia. In talking with John Schneider, he's hoping that it's a couple of times through the league before the league adjusts to Savage. As McGonigal bats here for Detroit. Finally, they're going the second time through their order.
Yeah. With McGonigal, he actually swung and missed. This guy doesn't swing and miss too often. It gives you an idea of that split finger that Savage has.
Two of the top rookies going head-to-head here as we take a look at the scouting report on McGonigal.
I just love that his favorite player was Chase Utley. He was one of my favorite players to watch. I think he's a Hall of Famer in Chase Utley.
Oh, look out.
It's a fastball, it gets away. Scary. You could hear McGonigal go, oof.
It'll be a payoff pitch, and it's ball 4.
How about that? This is the number that really stands out with McGonigal. More walks than strikeouts. In a day and an era where strikeouts are so prevalent. I mean, he's getting hits everywhere. You make mistakes in the strike zone. Of course, his debut, he had 4 hits in San Diego. But check out the ones at the bottom. This one, the one at the bottom for a double.
27th walk now versus 24 strikeouts for McGonigal. Only one of 6 big leaguers this season with more walks than strikeouts. And on a list with some pretty great players, age 21 or younger. Those are the last 5 guys to do it. A 1-out walk sets up Dylan Dingler. Leading home run hitter to begin the season for the Tigers. Has also driven in a team high 28. Gold Glove winner in his first full season behind the plate last year. First Tigers player to win a Gold Glove at any position since 2016. And Kinsler won it at second base that year. Dingler, right side, base hit. McGonigal woes up at second. Probably a good decision with that throw from Sanchez, cut off in the infield. But the Tigers have first and second and one out.
Great piece of hitting from Dylan Dingler. You hit behind the runner, you get the split finger up in the zone, you sit back, just throw the barrel at it. And for McGonigal, he had to stop to let the ball go through. And I think that little hesitation and the restart made it so it was really hard to go first and third, because this Tigers team, they are known going first and third. They take the extra base all the time.
Yeah, they do it more than any other team in baseball.
Oh. And that truly is just a mindset. I mean, you just have to be aggressive. And I like how AJ always says, you know, if you're barely out at third, it also meant you're barely safe.
Remember, it was a couple years ago when he and Joey Cora got together, and as a part of what was a really young team at the time, trying to get them going, established this idea of chaos on the base paths.
And it works.
Yep. Third base coach Joey Cora, who continues to do an outstanding job.
There's Joey. Well, AJ, you know, in the 2000s, the Angels were notorious for running the bases like that. And that's what AJ wanted to model. He said, hey, I remember Angels, they had Eric Ibar and Albert Callaspo and all these different guys that maybe you didn't know who they were, but everybody would run, take an extra base on you, the pressure it put on the defense.
There's a strikeout for you, Savage, number 5 on the night, as he fans Colt Keith.
He said it, 5 punch outs, see where the location is, they want it up. It stays on that plane, so it's really hard for a hitter to get on top of the baseball.
Big second out as Green steps in and is out in front. Tigers are now 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They went 4 for 32 last weekend against the Royals and 3 for 27 against the Mets this week. Blocked by Valenzuela, but that doesn't deter McGonigal, who takes off for third.
I just love this read from McGonigal at second, because he has clear sight line on it. Second he saw it in the dirt, took off.
Scored as a wild pitch. Ball and a strike to Green. And he pops it up. This will drift foul. Let's see if a play can be made. Not quite. So Green will get another look.
And Green has been just a red-hot hitter for the Tigers on Wednesday.
Let's go back to Wednesday. Similar play up against the screen. Uncomfortable there. Oh, mostly because he got hit on the dome. Yeah, he wound up being okay.
Yeah, the guys loved it.
1-2 to Green. In the dirt, it skips away from Valenzuela, and the Tigers are on the board. 2 wild pitches from Savage, and McGonigal scores to make it 2-1.
That's why I love the read so much at second base, is because in your mind, you know, a split finger, if it goes in the dirt, you have a chance to read it. And once you go to third, now another split finger, if it pops away, you can score a run. So Tigers and McGonigal manufacturing a run just based on being aggressive on the paths.
Green pops this one up, shallow center. Clement is out, and he makes the play. Chaos on the base paths from the rookie McGonigal, and it's 2-1. The top pitchers in baseball is now a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. Dylan Cease signing with Jays, a 7-year deal over the offseason. Perennial contender and Cy Young bounding. He joins us downstairs in the headset. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielberg's upstairs. You got us?
Yeah, Dylan, you got us here. Mustache looks
Okay.
fantastic. Before we get into oysters and art, your last 3 starts, you've had 3 quality starts, but take us through the last one, especially with how important it was when you saw Varsho hit the walk-off.
Yeah, I'm just trying to execute pitches. Last couple have gotten deep into the game, which is great. So just trying to give us a good chance to win.
All right. You sign long-term here in Toronto. Why this team? Why Toronto?
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons. Obviously coming off a World Series run, I feel like that showed me they were a contending team. Nice. Had a lot of talent. So if I'm going to be somewhere long-term, I want to be somewhere that's going to be competitive. And then I was impressed with the development side and what they had for me in terms of what they thought I could do to improve. And then the other aspects of it are the business side as well.
I mean, they take such great care of players and their family. That's something that they focused in on. The brand new clubhouse that they've done over the last couple of years. What has been your experience now that you've been playing for about a month and a half now in this organization?
Yeah, it's been great. It's first class. It's lived up to everything and more of what I've heard.
The new facilities there, because it's not just in Toronto, it's in Dunedin too, where I've heard that everything got renovated there as well. If you could speak to what it's like now with those facilities.
Yeah, I mean it's top notch, as nice as I've ever seen, and it definitely makes coming to the ballpark that much more enjoyable.
For you, John Schneider's office has become an art gallery. Take us through how art helps you and how you got involved with it.
Yeah, I got involved starting in 2022. I was in Kansas City, and it was the middle of the season, and I went to I think it's the Nelson Atkins Art Museum, and I just left there feeling refreshed, and so I decided to give it a try, and ever since then I've enjoyed art, whether it's YouTubing it, learning about artists, or doing it myself.
And do you do it post game? Is it on it? Like, when do you find yourself being creative?
It really depends. I feel like I kind of do it in spurts. Like that one in his office I painted in spring training. I haven't painted in a couple months, but it's really just when I'm, having energy and in the mood to do it. I'm about due for one, actually.
Do you have a favorite art museum on the road?
Chicago's got a great one. The Nelson Atkins in Kansas City's great. Actually, I think Pasadena. I want to say it was Pasadena. It's one of the cities near the Langham in LA has a great one too. But I've been to a lot of good ones. It's hard for me now to enjoy them.
All right, this last offseason, we chatted with you on MLB Network Radio, and you said you were so excited to go to Toronto and Canada for the oysters. And we know that you're an oyster connoisseur. You hadn't had those oysters yet. Now I feel like you found a spot. Take us through why oysters are so important to you.
Yeah, it's my favorite food, and Canada just happens to have some of the best in the world. Prince Edward Islands and Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and all that. Great oysters, and yeah, I got a spot, Rodney's Oyster House. Yeah, I eat them probably too many. I've got so many people now telling me I'm eating too many. I'm going on ChatGPT and I'm convincing myself I'm going to give myself zinc poisoning.
Well, it has high levels of zinc and iron and omega fatty acids. So
yeah, but isn't that better than low levels?
This is.
Don't you want to get? Yeah.
I agree with you.
I don't know. It's. Who knows? I know it's got to be better than eating 30 Oreos a day, but that's probably not great for me either. So
I guess in the choice between oysters and Oreos, oysters it is. One more look at this play from McGonigal as he crosses paths with Workman. And Jesus Sanchez is aboard.
One of my favorite people around the Blue Jays is Max Scherzer, and I heard you and Max have hit it off in a great way. Take us through that relationship with the future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's. I've enjoyed Max a lot. He's not afraid to be himself, and ultimately, I think he really cares about winning and being a great teammate. So he's always locked in, talking baseball, and anytime I'm down with the outing, he'll give me his opinion on things, what went well, what can be better, and he's just he's a funny man. I've enjoyed being his teammate.
Talking with Dylan Cease. Twice you finished top 5 in Cy Young voting in your career. Off to a great start in Toronto. Is it, with some guys, it's a little bit of an adjustment period going to a new team. What is it about maybe the team and the city, as we've talked about, that's just been such a seamless fit?
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment. I don't know. I think the organization is top notch, and that makes it a lot easier. And I'm sure I'm about to lose you guys, but
yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good.
I put you in a tough spot there with the double play. We appreciate it,
Thanks,
Dylan.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oysters.
Yeah.
Tonight's aerial coverage in Detroit is brought to you by Goodyear. Look from our drone above Comerica Park. Nice night for baseball. And a healthy crowd on hand. Tigers and the Blue Jays, first of a 3-game set. First of 6 meetings this year between these two teams. The start of 17 games in 17 days for the Blue Jays. The defending American League champions off to a slow start. Tigers, talk about a slow start for them as well. 6 games under 500. Coming off a really rough road trip. One silver lining, just looking through the schedule for this Tigers team, Spilly, is that they've played 24 interleague games. That's the most in baseball. So you think about the division, this AL Central, but also the American League broadly, and what's been just a down year for the entire league. There's still so much runway available. Yeah,
there really is. And, the Tigers haven't played a ton of games at home either, so you got that working for you.
Vierling with a fly ball, drifting into foul ground and into the seats.
I mean, eventually the Tigers are going to turn into the gritty Tigs again. The White Sox have been a pleasure to watch, especially if you think about where they were 2 seasons ago. The Twins, with Byron Buxton is having an amazing year.
Vierling pops this up left side. Okamoto in foul ground. 1 gone. Tricia?
Yeah, guys, you were just talking about the division right now, and we spoke with AJ Hinch just on the Tigers' tough stretch and tough start to the season, and he made a couple good points. He, of course, said, listen, you don't crown division champions in May, and then he compared this year to last year in a way. He said last year at this time, we were hot. And then he said, that didn't win us anything. So you have to keep a steady approach and stay disciplined, because May is not when you win the division. It's later in the season, guys.
I mean, the Tigers, maybe it's the opposite effect this year because they had that huge fall off over the second half last season. That nearly cost them a playoff spot.
Huh?
Best record in the American League on September 10th with 16 games to play. They led the Guardians by 9.5. Had to settle for second in the division. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Workman is gone. Strikeout number 6 for Savage.
Well, we are sitting right behind home plate, and we get a chance to just, I'm putting myself in the batter's box trying to figure out how in the world would I hit Trey Savage. I don't have it figured out. He's been a Rubik's Cube for every hitter that's seen him.
That run for the Tigers in the 3rd is only the 2nd that he's allowed in now 4 starts.
Yeah, and it came on 2 wild pitches.
Right. A walk, the runner advanced to second on a single, and then 2 wild pitches to get him home. Otherwise, it's been a lot of that. Another 1-2-3 inning for Savage. His 2nd of the night, and it's still 2-1. touchdown score for the second inning. Andres Jimenez with a double that played it 2.
Yeah, this is left-on-left, tough at bat for Jimenez. He comes through with a big knock. He was hitting 158 on the season. He's been doing all the damage against right-hand pitching, and so for Jimenez to get that swing, huge for him. Now he gets a righty, and Drew Anderson making his 15th appearance. Strikeouts, those numbers are good. 23 innings pitched, 30 punch-outs, but it's the walks. There's quite a few walks with this Tigers bullpen. Now, a season ago, this was a bullpen that did not strike anybody out. It was the second lowest rate in baseball. This year, much better.
8, 9, and 1, beginning with Jimenez, who fouls this off. Andres Jimenez, 5 homers on the season, 2 shy of his total from all of last year. And that got a piece of Dylan Dingler.
Well, Anderson has 4 pitches. He uses a 4-seam, a changeup, curveball, and slider. The pitch that stands out is his curveball and changeup combination, because he gets a lot of swing and miss. Nearly a 40% whiff rate with the curveball. They're the strikeout ranks I was just mentioning. They went from 29th to 15th this year.
Jimenez strikes out. Nasty changeup from Anderson.
Wicked movement from Anderson. Adds a little fade to it.
One of the strikeout leaders among relief pitchers. Valenzuela blown by with 97. Bouncing ball up the middle, that'll find a hole. And Valenzuela reaches for the second time tonight. That'll turn the lineup over to Springer.
A swing from Valenzuela. He's rocketed right up the middle. This one has some eyes.
Springer with a man aboard. Swinging at the first pitch. Dingler, long way to go. Runs out of room. Last year, George Springer, at age 36, finished top 5 in the American League in average, on-base, slug, and OPS. He earned some MVP votes. From July 1st onward, he had the best OPS in baseball.
Well, it took him a little bit of time to really figure out DHing, because the year before, I mean, he kept getting hurt. He was playing the outfield. Made a swing adjustment in the offseason with Michael Brantley. They were teammates in Houston. Michael Brantley, known as Dr. Smooth because of his swing.
It is so interesting, too, to see how Springer has embraced being one of the key faces of this franchise. I mean, you're in Canada, especially watching during the hockey playoffs, you start to see the ads for Rogers. And he's right in the middle of them. Tied up there, 2-2.
And you'll get a kick out of this. You see his batting gloves. He's a huge Hartford Whalers fan. So that's why he's got the Hartford colors with his batting gloves.
Shoes, for that matter. And again, just to put into context, age 35 or older, this is where Springer lines up in terms of 300, 30 homers, 100 runs. Great names to be around. Springer pokes this third base side. Workman, a short way for one, on to first, and they turn two. 5-4-3, the double play. The rookie Gage Workman starting it off with Lee making the turn.
I'm so excited you're here. I'm such a big fan.
Thank you.
You may have seen Selma, Legally Blonde, Cruel Intentions, Hellboy, many, many roles. You're here for Comic-Con, but you grew up a Tigers fan.
I did. I'm a Detroit girl, and I was at the Tigers game in 1984 with the World Series, and that was like, I'm at the winning team. My city is the winning team, so I'm so happy to be back.
Oh, we love that. We absolutely love that. All right, another thing I wanted to talk to you about, you have been so vocal and so outspoken about your MS diagnosis, and you've helped other people. You said it really fulfills you to help other people despite your diagnosis. Can you tell us a little bit about why it's so important for you to be ambassador for those people?
Yes, thank you. You know, I recently also became an ambassador, a global ambassador for American Brain Foundation, and it was when I realized when I came out with my MS diagnosis, I thought, oh, it'll just be forgotten. They'll go, oh, poor her, whatever. And I didn't realize how many people were craving their own visibility, their own questions. I was too. I didn't know much about MS. So then when I have people come up to me and tell me their stories or what it meant or going on Dancing with the Stars or just trying to push myself and keep living, it means so much and it keeps me going. It really does. You know, we all need to have some team spirit with us.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said that better. I also want to introduce the world to your dog right here. This is Scout.
Front here, these service dogs are taught to stay out of our sight, kind of, so he gets under the chair, but I realize that Tigers fans also love my little lion in a dog suit.
They love Scout. We love Scout. Scout might be the most famous service dog out there. You may have seen him at the Oscars all over the place. Selma Blair, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Enjoy the game.
So excited to be here. I love it. This is the best time. I'm really happy. I'm so excited to be here for Comic-Con. I'm so excited to come home always and be a Detroit girl.
A Detroit girl, Alex and Spilly. Take it away.
Thank you, Tricia. Documentary introducing Selma Blair is on Apple TV, which dives into the background on some of the things that she was talking about, that diagnosis.
Well, she's sitting right by the Blue Jays dugout, so I'm like, can't we get her on Detroit's side?
A well-earned walk for Hao-Yu Lee. I think Trisha's going to spend a little bit more time with the doggo down there, too.
Of course.
All right, so top of the order, Kevin McGonigal. Leads all rookies in hits, in doubles. He's second in average. Walked and scored the only Detroit run in the third. He began the season playing mostly third base, but we've talked about all the injuries for the Tigers. Parker Meadows banged up. Javi Baez moved back out to the outfield. He got hurt. And so McGonigal had to slide over and play short. And I got to say, Spilly, it's surprising outside in to see how much of a seamless fit it's been.
But he can play multiple spots because he's practiced it. And that's the thing that, you know, that has stood out to me as I've heard about him, as I've watched him. I mean, he's a tireless worker. He is constantly putting in the time and effort to be good at his craft, wherever it's at.
Rookie of the month for the month of April.
We've seen some really fun young players so far on our Apple TV broadcasts. The first couple weeks, Connor Griffin, Travis Bazzano last week.
Valenzuela has no play here. On another one in the dirt from Yasavage. That's 3 wild pitches now. And Lee is able to move up 90 feet.
That's the third wild pitch for you, Savage, and it's all coming on the split finger. He's not been able to really command his split finger. You can kind of tell by the body language with Trey. He's like trying to figure it out, get dialed in.
Huh? It's funny you say that, because if you look at his line otherwise, 4 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts. No problem, right?
Well, that's what's so scary about Trey is he's not even pitching at his high level yet.
Up the middle from McGonigal. It will be caught. A sliding catch from Varsho, and they are going to double up Lee. And the inning is over. It hung up there for Varsho, and Lee took off. Easy double play, 8-4-6 to end the inning. Retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. There have been some impressive young players to come through Detroit. Kevin McGonigal robbed of a hit.
Some impressive legends that have played for Detroit. I'm going to die on the hill that Lou Whitaker should be in the Hall of Fame.
Up the first base side, it's going to be handled the whole way by Drew Anderson, charging off the mound. So with that context, tonight's BetMGM odds to win American League Rookie of the Year. McGonigal's the favorite for the AL right now.
Some really good ones. Parker Messick, his stuff has been great. Chase DeLauder.
Yeah.
You never know if Travis Bazzana is going to catch on fire with Cleveland. They might have 3 guys.
Well, then you've got what's going on in Chicago on the south side with Munetaka Murakami. Among the league leaders in homers. I mean, you could argue he's the biggest star the White Sox have had since Tim Anderson. Maybe. I'll bolster my case with this, Billy. His first 14 extra base hits were homers before he doubled last Monday.
I think there's a bunch of teams that regret not signing Murakami to a 2-year contract.
Guerrero flies one to shallow right. McKinstry took a step back. A little jog in to make the catch. 2 gone.
Well, for Okamoto, he's made an adjustment since coming over to the States. So early in the year, he was standing where he was standing. Now, he's moved back. Now, part of the reason why you move back as a hitter is to give yourself some more time. And the other thing that has benefited him is with that little extra time, you're also catching some of the off-speed pitches coming down. So it would be counterintuitive, right? You think if you move up in the box, maybe you catch the off-speed pitches out up front. Well, a lot more guys are throwing high curveballs along with high rail fastballs. So if you move back, you have more time to see the fastball, and you're also catching the curveball that's hitting the top of the zone.
He's double in the second. Extended his on-base streak to 16 games. He has 16 hits over that span. See where he is in the batter's box. Right back up the middle, but the shift was on. And Lee is there behind the bag. A 1-2-3-6 for Drew Anderson. It's a 1-run game. Be presented by Verilux lenses. Fans having a good time here at Comerica Park. Turned into a gorgeous night. I was a little worried walking into the ballpark, Billy. It was kind of overcast, damp, and chilly. And it's really nice tonight.
Very, very, very nice.
Trey Savage continues to have an excellent outing, but for the 3 walks, one of which came round to score on the 3 wild pitches. Otherwise, 2 hits, 6 Ks. Dingler, Keith, and Green here in the bottom of the 6th.
Dingler has one of the few hits against Savage tonight. Hit a split finger opposite field to right.
Dingler, ground ball up the middle. Backhanded stop by Clement. Throws wide of the bag. It'll skip by Guerrero and give an extra base to Dingler. It's going to be a tough play no matter what. But the error tacks on another 90 feet.
Well, I think with the Earn Dog, he makes a mistake here. The second one he's made tonight is he had a little bit more time, but you see how he just did this quick shuffle and fired. Yeah, he probably had one more step just based on the runner with Dingler. I mean, I get trying to make a great play. You see Ernie's upset with himself.
Puts a runner in scoring position for Colt Keith. Keith, who hit .326 through the end of April, though has come back to earth since. Though is looking for his first homer of the season. A throw to second. That nearly got by Jimenez. It's a heck of a play. Save that ball.
The Blue Jays are not playing clean Blue Jays baseball at all. Now, they did get away with this one with the play from Jimenez. Always, this is in the outfield. But 4th in baseball in errors, which is that's not what the Blue Jays are about.
On the ground, right side. Clement is there, but it moves the runner over. And Keith with a productive out. Tying run now 90 feet away.
And you'll see that Colt Keith will manipulate his swing. He's just trying to get the ball on the right side and force the Blue Jays to play the infield in. So he'll get a lot of high fives.
So now, can the Tigers drive home the run? Detroit 0 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. Riley Green with a strikeout and a flyout.
And Green has been almost automatic as far as getting on base. I mean, 24 game on base streak right now.
It's a career best for him. Hitting .395 over that 24 game on base streak. Second longest active streak in the majors behind Nick Kurtz in Sacramento. 37 straight for him. Green smokes this one fair into the right field corner, and that will tie the game. Dingler will score. Riley Green with an RBI double to tie the game at 2.
Riley Green, 25 games now getting on base, and he feasts in these scenarios. It's a splitter up, rips it right down the right field line. I'm kind of wondering if the Blue Jays would avoid Riley Green and just force first and third with Matt Vierling, because maybe that's a better matchup for you.
Vierling swinging away. 25-game on-base streak for Green, a 10-game hit streak. As Vierling flies one to deep center. Varsho drifting back, but he has a beat on it. And Green will stay put. Trisha, what do you have?
Guys, I was joking with Riley Green before the game. He's always my pregame interview when we're in Detroit, but he's never been my star of the game postgame interview. And he looked at me and he said, "You just wait. Today I'm going to be, and today I'm going to give AJ Hinch a good birthday." He's on his way to it.
Yeah, off to a good start for sure. Coming off a career year, Riley Green shattering his career highs, runs batted in, and homers. Health, obviously, a big reason why. Finally getting through a full season.
Well,
there's the rookie Workman.
Savage is about to pass his season high in pitches. The next pitch.
Workman serves this to left, tailing, and will be caught on the run by Pinyango. Gage Workman put it in a tough spot, but Pinyango, coming a long way, was able to reel it in. But the Tigers have tied it. MLBshop.com. And MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. Plus select out-of-market games every week and live radio for every game. Game day 3D, big inning, minor league action, a whole lot more. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Dalton Varsho swinging at the first pitch, flies one foul.
I think we talked about this before with Dalton Varsho. He credits his mom. He was a softball player, great player. For a lot of, his dad was obviously a long-time big league scout. He's been involved with baseball for a long time. His name Dalton after Darren Dalton. And his dad played with the Phillies. His mom was a heck of a softball player.
Yeah, his dad, Gary, played 8 seasons in the big leagues. Let's take you back to Wednesday. This just seemed like a turning point in the season, or it could be for the Blue Jays, depending on what happens next. But you can flag that right now. Walk-off grand slam. Tampa Bay pitching, they issued a whole bunch of walks in that game. But the Blue Jays took advantage.
Similar to last year with the Blue Jays' slow start. And then we had the perfect homestand where they swept the Yankees for 4, and I think it was the Angels right after it. And that's when they got kick-started.
Yeah, that Canada Day series in the Yankees was huge. You know, last season, the Blue Jays weren't in quite as big of a rut. They were 2 games under 500 on May 27th. They point to a series with the Rangers in Arlington that weekend. As Varsho fouls another one off, with Bo Bichette hitting a pinch hit 2-run homer. The rubber game of that series snapped the team out of its funk at the time. They're about to enter a stretch here where the opportunities are there, but so's the challenge. 17 games in 17 days. A lot of them against division opposition, a couple against division leaders. The furthest back Toronto was last season was 8 games during that weekend on May 28th. They're already 9.5 out. Good battle here from Varsho. He fouls another one. I'm going to go even further back to this very weekend last year. It was the start of a 3-game set against Detroit. A year ago today, they would lose 2 of 3 in a month where they would also lose 5 of 6 to the Tampa Bay Rays. entering play on May 15th last year, 22nd in run scoring, 24th in homers. Their rotation was 26th in ERA. Vlad Guerrero Jr. only had 4 homers. He would go on to hit 23. So this Blue Jays team is very much drawing upon that experience from last year.
And to that point, I mean, you look at both Tigers and Toronto, they're 2.5 games back of a wild card spot. I mean, we're traditionally, we don't look at standings right now. This is good or bad for Dalton Varsho.
10 pitches now. And again, there's a look at the standings. Payoff. Varsho, ground ball up the middle. Going to be a tough play. McGonigal able to snare it and fire a strong throw to first. Speaking of anniversaries on May 15th, worth going back in the Wayback Machine to 10 years ago today, Spilly. You remember this?
I do remember this. Now, Blue Jay fans don't love it, but I did get a chance to play a season in Texas and went to a charity event. And they auctioned off a giant painting of Odor hitting Jose right in the mouth, and I think it went for a couple $1,000. So
that's it. McGonigal weighs everybody off here. Dale Scott, you were at first base that day, I hear. So you had a front row seat.
Front row seat. I actually didn't see the hit on the field because that attempt to double play, the ball went by me and I had to olay it and everything. But it was, I've seen 2 major hits in all my years on the field. That one and one in '94 with B.J. Surhoff got cold cocked one night.
See, the fans in Toronto, thank you, Dale. The fans in Toronto, even though they were on the wrong end of that, I feel like they can appreciate a good dust-up.
Yes. I mean, that one was a legendary one.
I don't think we've seen anything come close.
Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That was a good, you're right.
The batter is challenged with a call of strike.
Gonna be a challenge here from Ernie Clement. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Toronto has 1 challenge remaining.
You could tell he was almost regretting it for the moment.
Yeah, he looked at Dylan Diggler. He's like, was that a strike? And he's like, Dylan's like, yep.
Ball and a strike here. And Clement grounds one to third. Workman across the diamond. And it's a 1-2-3 7th. Time to get up and stretch here in Detroit in a tie game. The first baseline. They pick off Pinango unscathed. Chaos on the base pass from McGonigal. 5-4-3, the double play. Trey Savage, and it's rinse and repeat. How about the twists and turns in the plot? We welcome you back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielberg's here with you. This has been a fun game. Yeah. A lot going on out there, and it's tied here in the bottom of the seventh.
We knew we were going to get pitching chaos. We knew we were going to see Trey Savage. We're also watching these 2 teams try to get on track, and this game has played out exactly the way we thought that it was going to be, which we're not quite sure who's going to end up winning this series. Both teams desperate for a series win. Both teams desperate to get a lot of their own players back.
Well, a new pitcher here for the Blue Jays. Trey Savage was on track, but it'll be a no decision for him as Braden Fisher enters the game. Fisher, who's been really good against right-handed hitters, but he faces the lefty here in McKinstry, who's tied up in a knot. 1 gone here in the 7th. Trey Savage was once again sharp. Statcast powered by Google Cloud.
So it gives you an idea of what we've been talking about all night, the tunneling of his pitches. So you have the high release point. He was releasing at 7 feet, over 7 feet. You see one of the swings almost out of the screen, and then how it works. You got the high rail fastball and then the split finger off of it.
Still will not get a decision.
Well, but his longest outing of the year,
Yep.
they're trying to push him. He's getting closer and closer to, maybe 100 pitches.
We haven't even talked about the Tigers and their starting pitching.
The batter is challenging the call of strike.
Torkelson gonna challenge here. Tigers were down to their last one. Wow.
Again, the trend in baseball
The call is overturned.
has been
Detroit has
off-speed
one
pitches
sound remaining.
working away from you that are called strikes are turning out to be balls. Because you have to remember, the ABS doesn't count until it's 8.5 inches back off the plate. But Fisher, I mean, he's primarily going to spin it. Curveball, slider.
Ball, nope.
Torkelson holds his swing. Just want to go back to put a pin in this on the Blue Jays, because we're talking about the Tigers and their starting pitching injuries. The Blue Jays without Max Scherzer right now. Jose Barrios, they don't know how long he's going to be out.
Nope.
That's ball 4 to Torkelson. And a 1-out walk for him. Bowden Francis out for the season. Tommy John surgery. Shane Bieber targeting a June return. And much like in Detroit, it's put stress on the Toronto bullpen.
It is really disappointing. I was sad. I was there for it. But Cody Ponce, who he showed signs. Here's a guy that was the MVP in the KBO. Worked his way back to the big leagues. He had a little cup of coffee with the Pirates. Totally transformed himself, and on a strange play in his very first start, out for the year.
Lee on the ground short. Jimenez, the flip for 1 on the first. Double play. Smoothly turned. Jimenez to Clement and on to Guerrero. 6-4-3, and we head to the 8th. Still tied at 2. Essilor. Learn more about Verilux XR series and find your local Essilor expert at Essilor.com. Gorgeous night in Detroit. Start of the 7-game homestand for the Tigers. Two game.
Tell you what, Drew Anderson has made this game for the Tigers. I mean, he has been awesome. And his story is just as good as his evening's been. Like, started with the Phillies. He was drafted in the 21st round, 2012. Ended up with the White Sox organization, Rangers. Then he goes overseas to Japan, plays in Japan for 3 years. Signs with the Tigers on a minor league deal in 2024. Ends up going to Korea later on after spring training. Shoves, does great, and then comes back and the Tigers sign him to a nice contract. That's not an easy path.
And on a day where I'm sure he was expected to pitch, but not in this role, not after what happened early in the game. High chop from Jimenez, 1 gone, because it was Hannafy to begin. And then Herter, and then it was supposed to be Ty Madden in a bulk role, and then he got knocked out of the game. Take a look at the bullpen ranks for the Tigers.
There's the great Kenley Jansen, 3rd all-time now in saves.
AJ Hinch was telling us that he had a nice little post-game celebration to honor him. ball and 2 strikes here to Valenzuela. The only 2 remaining in terms of the all-time saves list, Mariano Rivera and Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah, Kenley's going to eventually get to 500 saves.
Drew Anderson, who since allowing the single to Valenzuela in the 5th, has retired the last 8. There's the saves list.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get to 600, but I won't discount it.
First 12 seasons with the Dodgers, world champion in 2020 with them. 2-2 on the ground from Valenzuela on 2 hops gobbled up by Lee. 2 gone here in the 8th. Let's take a look at our game summary tonight. Cap off the night presented by Blue Moon.
We knew it was going to be a opener day, so you saw Hannafy start, and they went Brant Herter. Andres Jimenez got him with the double. Those are the first 2 runs. And you get Ty Madden coming in. Unfortunately, he takes a line drive off his right forearm, and he gets knocked out. So no bulk.
Springer with a chopper. A 1-2-3-8. Drew Anderson has retired 10 straight. Keep this game tied.
And I asked a couple people before the game to describe him for me. Riley Green said he's just a fireball of energy, but his manager, AJ Hinch, he said, Trish, he's got that Philly edge to him because he's from that area. He said he absolutely loves the competition. He said when he is on deck, he's constantly pacing. He'll come back to the dugout, he'll look at the scouting report, and he'll go back out. He said that mentality, me versus him, that's what he loves, and that's what he does best, guys.
That's impressive, no doubt, what he's done to begin his big league career.
Usually you don't see a 70 on the hit as a hit tool. That's on a 20 to 80 scale. A lot of times you'll see, 55. 55's league average. If you're 60, 65, that's that's an everyday big leaguer, borderline all-star. But a 70.
Facing Joe Manaply, that's another ball that Valenzuela has ricochet off of him. He's having a physical night behind the plate, that's for sure.
Yeah, a tough night for Valenzuela. He's been hit numerous times in his legs.
Numerous times in numerous places. Applauding the warrior behind the plate.
Yeah, the tools of ignorance.
3 balls and a strike to McGonigal, who leads the team with now 27 walks on the season. That's the 4th most among rookies. High strike, full count.
And McGonigal, because he's not a big guy, he has a very small strike zone. And when you have command of the strike zone, it does lend yourself to be a better hitter.
McGonigal off the hands, but in the air. 1 down. Well, Spilly.
I like it when you read this.
Something is lurking beneath the surface of Widow's Bay. Decades of calm, but the legends of the island's dark history begin to reveal themselves. Genuine horror and comedy. Widow's Bay. Now streaming on Apple TV.
It's like a mix of Yoda and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment. I tried.
I told you, He can read me children's books to bed.
Well, not
like
that voice.
I'm all in.
You don't want, well, I don't think you want children to be scared anyway. Owen Dingler singled twice, reached 3 times. And Dingler serves this to right, sending Sanchez back. And he'll make the catch on the track.
Well, we know both teams have really struggled this year to score runs. I mean, it's still amazing to me that Toronto's 23rd in baseball in runs scored. Tigers offense, especially the bottom of the lineup, is just not producing anything.
And have a pinch hitter here. Hitters 5 through 9 in the Tigers order tonight do not have a hit. They only reached twice. Jahmai Jones will pinch hit for Colt Keith.
I mean, really, Tigers and Blue Jays are no joke. They are mirror images of each other.
Line drive, base hits. Instant offense, a pinch hit single for Jones. And it keeps the inning going.
What is it with Jahmai Jones in Friday Night Baseball? Last year, the first pitch he saw, he hit for a home run when he was recalled. First pitch, just rips it into left field, instant offense.
Put a base runner aboard for Riley Green.
Now, a number that really stands out with Riley Green is the damage he's done left on left. He's hitting .381 left on left.
Oh, out in front of the breaking ball there.
I mean, Riley's trying to make sure that this game ends in the top of the 9th inning.
Another big swing. Another breaking ball, another whiff. It's not quite desperation, but the Tigers have been beaten up. All the injuries they've sustained. They lost 2 of 3 against the division opponent in Kansas City. And then against the Mets this week, where they blew a lead in every game.
Yeah, a lot of remotes were thrown in Detroit.
There goes the runner. Ball low and in. And the throw down in time. What a throw from Valenzuela.
Are they going to challenge?
Jones can't believe it.
What a tag. That's why. Yeah, Andres Jimenez, glove magician.
Perfect throw, perfect tag, inning over. Kenley Jansen will come into the game for the Tigers. Trying to hold the Blue Jays here and set up Detroit with Riley Green, who will be back at the plate in the bottom half of the 9th.
Now with the extra inning rules, you know what a lot of teams do, especially a home team, you're going to use your closer in this scenario. So you're going to use Kenley Jansen here, probably go Kyle Finnegan if it does go extras. You're not trying to save your closer for the extra inning rule because it's such a crapshoot. It is so difficult to not give up a run. But in a scenario where the inning's clean, you're going to go to your closer.
And that delivery from Jansen just as deceptive as ever.
I faced him when he first got called up. He was a converted catcher. There's a video of Kenley in the WBC, I think it was 2008, where he's a catcher for the Netherlands. He's throwing somebody out at third. It's like 400 miles an hour. Now, the thing with Kenley, he has a natural cut to his fastball. And I've argued about this, and I know people get upset with me. Kenley Jansen's cut fastball, his cutter, is better than Mariano Rivera's. And the reason why I say that, higher velocity, far more strikeouts.
Yeah, but could you start a bonfire with broken bats?
Not when he's getting swing and miss. There's that cutter.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Pinyango down on strikes. Guerrero now to the plate as we take a look at pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Well, it's been a frustrating night for Vlad. Struck out his first at bat. That was on a 3-0 pitch. 3-0 pitch. He took a fastball in. Broke a bat over his knee.
We talked about it earlier. It's been a frustrating go of it. And whether it's trying to do too much, whether it's fatigue from playing in the postseason and the WBC.
I think there's something to that.
Guerrero smokes one up the middle. It will be caught. Matt Vierling takes away a hit from Guerrero.
And really scary play for Vierling, because if it gets past him, this is one of the deepest center fields in baseball. Guerrero's going to be moving, and you can see Guerrero's like, come on. That ball 105 off the bat of Guerrero.
And he is now 0 for his last 18.
Huh? Good read from Vierling. Watch how he's coming in. That ball has some knuckle to it.
He knows that he is a huge part of the offense, Guerrero. Frustration palpable. I'll offer another theory. He said recently, when he goes home right now, he's thinking about baseball all the time. His wife and daughters are still at home in Tampa as they finish up the school year.
And we know how close Vlad is with his daughter.
He has said, when I go home to my family, I can stop thinking about baseball. Okamoto here.
Well, a couple of years ago, if you remember, Guerrero got rid of his dreads and then he started hitting again. So maybe this year, when school's out, family comes back, Guerrero's numbers will come back.
Line drive, left field, and foul.
Just had a tail about 3 feet off from landing fair.
Jeff Hoffman getting ready. Will he be pitching with a lead? 2-2. straight back. Okamoto extended his on-base streak to 16 games in a row. We talk about rookies around baseball, but he's a seasoned vet. 11 seasons with the Yomiuri Giants. Top hitter in Japan last year. 6-time All-Star in the NPB. And he's fanned by Jansen. A 1-2-3 ninth. And Riley Green will lead things off for the Tigers. They'll try to walk it off when we come back. 2-2 game as we head to the bottom of the ninth. And if you're Detroit, this is the man you want at the plate. Riley Green, one of the top hitters in baseball this season. Jeff Hoffman, who has had some trouble at times. The Toronto Pen this year, 3 blown saves on the season.
Yeah, Louis Varland has basically taken that closer's role, and for Jeff Hoffman, he has given up 3 homers this year. Riley Green said he wanted to do a post-game interview.
It's one swing away there. Riley Green has 1 career walk-off homer. Ball and a strike.
Now looking at some of the numbers for Jeff Hoffman, league's hitting 300 off him, but the expected batting average off his fastball is around 200. Always has a great slider. So all the batting average numbers are way up against Hoffman, but the expected numbers are way down.
Level the count at 2-2.
Goes with the split finger. So he's now set up for a high rail fastball. He can go back to the split.
And back to the heat. Detroit has struggled in 1-run games this year. 4 and 8. They've been involved in 7 walk-offs, 2 wins, 5 losses. Green is fanned. 1 gone.
Hoffman reaches back, grabs 97. He knows how they're staying away from Riley Green's power.
At Vierling now. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. For 3 with a couple of flyouts. Vierling to right field, curling towards the corner. Could be trouble. That ball is foul.
Just has that feel where score a run, you got to run into a homer right now.
Long ball has bitten him quite a bit. 0-2 to Vierling. Straight back. Well, last year, Game 7 of the World Series. One he'd rather forget.
Still one of the best World Series I've ever seen.
Miguel Rojas.
They were outs away. They were a cleat away from winning it.
Inches.
I mean, all-time World Series. An all-timer.
Pop straight up behind home plate. And it'll reach the seats. That's why there's justified belief that this Blue Jays team can run it back. The biggest deletion from the roster obviously being Bo Bichette. But the rest of the group is intact. Veerling to center field and shallow. Varsho charging in. This will drop for a base hit. And the winning run is aboard in the ninth.
This ball just got hit right into no man's land, and with the defense for the Blue Jays, you're going to play no doubles with one out. You're just going to play back. So Varsho's deep. Andres giving great chase. He's making sure that Varsho's not going to run into him, and it's just ends up falling. 71 miles an hour off the bat. You see there's not enough room or time for Varsho to get there.
Ball.
Gage Workman now. Long journey to get to this spot. Homered yesterday. Bounced around a couple of teams in the last year. Originally a farmhand of the Tigers. Rule 5 draft pickup by the Cubs. Made his major league debut with them. Bounced to the White Sox. And then DFA'd from there. Only to be reunited with the Tigers.
I see a couple Tater signs. It's his nickname given to him by his grandpa. Here's earlier in the week. Gage spinning around an off-speed pitch in Kansas City.
It was a go-ahead 2-run shot. Snapped a 5-game losing streak at the time. Trying to snap a 3-game losing streak here. When he strikes out. Big K for Hoffman.
Hoffman just goes back. Elevated fastball. Tater can't catch up to it.
Now Zach McKinstry. He's 0 for 3.
McKinstry was a surprise all-star a season ago, and it was such a great representation of what the Tigers do, because you have, you know, in a way, a role player who is an all-star.
There goes the runner from first, ball low and in, and Veerling swipes second. Base hit will score him now.
Good jump, high leg kick. He anticipated. Perfect time to go. 2 outs.
Ball.
Looks like they're going to intentionally walk McKinstry to set up a force and to get a matchup with Torkelson.
What do you think of that?
It makes sense from the Blue Jays perspective, just because you have a couple more options if he hits the ball hard, if an infielder dives. And you might like the right-on-right matchup, but versus right-on-left with McKinstry. It doesn't hurt you. The winning run's at second. You don't care much about the runner at first.
Torkelson is yet to get going this year. His average below 200 entering today. Ice cold lately. 0 for 9 with a walk during the Mets series. Entered just 5 for 41 this month. But in a spot or he can win it. April 23rd, he did walk it off here at Comerica against the Brewers. One of his 6 homers on the season. And a 1-2 hole.
Ball.
2-2. Torkelson has 3 career walk-off hits.
We wanted to give A.J. Hinch a present for his 52nd birthday.
Torkelson to the gap in right center. That ball is down for a hit. Here comes Vierling. The Tigers walk it off. They needed that in the worst way.
Well, at 2 strikes, Spencer Torkelson gets the high fastball. Stays inside of it. And he's going to present A.J. Hinch with a welcome birthday present. There's the fastball, top, and for Torkelson off the end of the bat a little bit, but just splitting the gap. Both these teams needed a win in the worst way. Tonight, the Signs and the Gritty Tigs are back.
They wanted to face him, and Torkelson delivered. A 3-2 victory for the Tigers to open up this 3-game set. After a dispiriting week on the road, some home cooking for the Tigers, who come back from down 2-0 early in this game to scratch across a run in the 3rd on a couple of wild pitches, a tying run in the 6th on an RBI double from Riley Green, and they win it with Torkelson in the 9th. He's downstairs with Tricia.
Spencer Torkelson, you told me before the game that this team has no panic. You did not panic in that at-bat. 2 strikes, you stayed inside. How'd you do it?
Gosh, just want to get the job done. Definitely had to shorten up. He has really good stuff, and I saw his all of his pitches, and it felt pretty good. If I just shortened up, I'd get the job done.
We talked before the game about how this team was going through a tough stretch, but you said you had faith in this group to do that. You needed this in the worst way, right?
Yeah, we needed a win, and a lot of guys stepped up today for us. I hope Ty's all right, but some guys ate some innings and did really well and got the job done. Greeny, unbelievable at bat to tie that game. And then in the 9th, you know, Vierling and Z-Mac drew a walk, intentional walk. Took that a little personal, and then yeah, I mean, that was a great team win.
You mentioned Vierling. So many things happened at the end there, but he made a catch to rob Vlad of a hit. That was clutch. How clutch was that?
Yeah, huge. That was a great swing. I mean, he hit it like 106, and Jeremy made a great play on that.
How about your pitching, what they had to do after Ty came out of the game? They had to eat innings that they perhaps were not prepared to go in for.
Yeah, they did an unbelievable job eating innings. They got the job done. There was some tight defense behind them. A lot of crucial double plays were made. But yeah, that was huge team win.
Is this the type of win that can propel you guys to what you know you're capable of this season?
Yeah, I think so.
A.J. Hinch, it's his birthday. Yeah. You said you wanted to give him a good birthday gift. Was this what you had in mind, a walk-off win?
No doubt.
Spencer, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
I think he's cold.
Might be a little. A Capital One walk-off from Spencer Torkelson. Capital One is donating $1,000 to the Jackie Robinson Foundation for every walk-off this season. It snapped a streak of 6 straight losses in 1-run games for the Tigers. And for Jeff Hoffman, his 3rd loss of the season to go along with the 3 blown saves. A big finish here in Detroit for the home team. The Tigers trying to get off the mat after a rough start to their season. Spencer Torkelson providing the heroics in the 9th inning. 3-2 the final. We'll be right back.